Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 113, and this issue is all about the Piscean dragon. And as you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be in this Western and Eastern Zodiac combination. If there's any questions, feel free just to comment, drop me a message, anything you need to know. All feedback is very welcome. Okay, so let's start in the beginning. Let's start in the childhood, the early childhood. What you're going to notice about the Piscean and the dragon, what you're going to notice about the combination mostly. Well, the parents and the teachers are going to notice, when we spoke about Pisces before, they're very dreamy-like sometimes, in a world of their own sometimes. They seem like that, but they're very, very intelligent, and sometimes they can go off on their own little tangent, and just let them be, because it's sometimes said, have they got their actual knowledge, have they got their foot in another world? Is it sometimes the visions and the extraordinary ability and sixth sense? Is it just their way of communicating, and really finding their own balance? So they're going to need that quiet time. Teachers won't be harsh on them because they're very, very likeable, and the mums and dads and the siblings really appreciate the Piscean because they add an element of drama, and they add an element of the fantastical to the mundane stuff, and they really can make the smallest thing and the easiest event seem like a real adventure. And that's what a great knack they've got. They're great to have around for this. And the teachers, as I say, they won't be too hard on them, because when they are going off in their green light state, they know that it's just their way of balancing themselves out. It's a highly emotive sign. It's a very influenced sign, but also very influential as well. So when you've got the Piscean in that sort of dream-like state, it calms the rest of everybody around in a subliminal way. They sort of feed off that sort of gentle karma that's floating around. So they're very, very useful when they're in that state. They will know, they'll be highly intelligent, so there's not a problem. And with the dragon in the mix, they're a little bit more tougher under the surface. It doesn't really manifest so much. The Piscean will still be sort of very easy to get along with. They're not looking to outshine their classmates. They're looking to work with everybody. Well, the individualism of the dragon, who is a conqueror, we've got to remember they're a conqueror. They're going to achieve great things because it's destined. It doesn't surface so much. This comes out a lot later, so they still will be, as I say, floating along, very easy to talk to. They'll have lots of friends. People will enjoy their company. In fact, they'll be very popular. But the dragon, the harder edge, will surface a little later as we go along, and we're getting into the college years or into their first apprenticeship, that sort of thing. The harder edge will show up because under that surface there is a steely determination, and there is also they don't get embroiled in sometimes they can get used, the little Pisces, in the sense of the dreamy, they plod along, and they can sort of do other people's work for them sometimes, because they just get lulled in a little bit. And within the firm, everybody loves the Piscean because they work really, really hard. But also, some people can put on them a little bit, say, oh, could you just do that for me while I'm... And the Piscean, in their way, and they're really sympathetic and empathetic manner, they say, yeah, no problem, yeah, I'll get on with that. But this is where the dragon will come into play, because when it comes to the work, when it comes to the serious side of business, there's a tough edge. They're a bit more, look, you've made your bed, you lie in it. If you can't perform the duty, then you shouldn't be here. There's a little bit more of this comes out, slightly more confrontational, slightly, slightly more edgy. Other co-workers can look at them as though they have all this knowledge and, you know, what they're getting the ump about. You know, they can be looked upon as a little bit cocky in that sense because they've got everything they need. The Piscean dragon has got everything they need. They don't really need to help anybody. You know, and that's what you've got to remember. And sometimes they're pretty peeved by being put on a lot. So I tend to like to see the Piscean dragon go off on their own, because it gets them out of that environment where they can have conflicts with co-workers because they know their job inside out. You know, they're very bright, they're very intelligent. You know, they're not going to respond to those pull the heartstrings or those sympathetic sort of tugs at them saying, oh, come on, help us out. They're not going to be like that. You know, when it comes to that serious business of work, you know, they're tough customers. You know, they're fantastic with money, as I've spoke about. The Piscean has a knack of getting the best deals. They know their opponent's weakness before they started because naturally, not being aggressive, they have the sixth sense to say, they could be very susceptible to flattery. Not all signs are, but they may know which ones are, which ones aren't, which one, you know, to push for a harder deal, which ones to say, right, this is the best I'm going to get. You know, they know the meeting before they've gone in there. They know how they were going to work it. And with the dragon, with the conquering dragon, there's a real strong character here that can, when pushed, absolutely defend its corner and absolutely, you know, become so strong in the business world. I like to see them go off on their own. They can do anything from building furniture, selling real estate, anything where, you know, they're going to be driving their bargain. They will know their opponent, they will know everything about that opponent, and so that's when they're in the best position. And sometimes the Piscean, especially the dragon, if they're in a firm and they feel as though they're making X amount of money for these bosses, etc., they think, well, you know, do they really deserve it because, you know, I'm pushing for it? And there can be a little bit of resentment sometime then, and that's when, you know, as I said about, it could be a bit of, oh, Piscean dragon seems a little bit cocky, or they seem a little bit got the ump today. So get out of that environment. Your destiny's in your hands, absolutely. Very capable, and as I say, they will get some fantastic money behind them, and then the people who work for them, they know they're going to be capable of doing their job. They don't just give out sympathetic jobs. Sometimes the Piscean can, you know, when I say, well, you know, they've got 4 kids, and you know, and if he's not working or she's not working, they're going to be told. They've gone a little bit with this. They say, well, if you do your job, I'll reward you. If you can't do it, get out of the kitchen. It's that like that, you know, and that's the way it is. You've got to take it. It's so rewarding because if you keep around these people, the wisdom, the intuition, it just rubs off on everybody. So they can be a fantastic boss to work for because of this. They give you a head start. So when you want to go off and make your own way, you know, you couldn't be armed with better knowledge in that sense. So stick in there, and as I say, Pisces dragon, go on your own because you know you can do it absolutely. And do you need anybody else? Well, you know you don't, but then you could pass on that wisdom to people who are willing to work hard and need the knowledge that you have. So let's look at the perfect matches for this, you know, this steely character under a dreamy-like state. They're going to be very sexual, the Pisces dragon, because there's going to be that emotive, that strong passion underneath the surface. They are going to really respond. They're going to need some sexual fulfillment, let's be honest about it. So let's go to the rat, because the rat will be intensely involved. They will zone in. and the dragon's going to love that. They're going to love being the centre of that attention as well. And the rat will feel so secure in the knowledge they've got a tough cookie with them, so they can go to battle together. And this is good. Look, this is a money compact, you know, union as well, because the rat will be doing the looking after. You've got the Pisces who can make it. They can make stacks of it, and the rat's saying, well done. You leave it here. I've got this. I'm going to put this in all these little areas. The rat's very good at that. There's a bit over there. There's a bit there. A bit here. You know, they're very clever. They know when to scurry and get it, and when it's needed, and when a bit more's needed to be put away. So let's look for the Taurus rat, the Cancerian rat, the Scorpio rat, and the Capricorn rat. Real good strong matches. And also the monkey, because the monkey has energy. The monkey, they have ideas of their own. They do need a little bit still behind them. The dragon gives them that to say, okay, you fulfill your wishes then. I will back you, you fulfill it. They give the monkey a bit of confidence that they need, because sometimes monkeys have these wonderful ideas and they skitter and scatter from that idea to that, but then the dragon say, right, let's harness this one, let's get involved in that one, you know. And that's an excellent, you know, combination, especially for the monkey, because it gives them that little bit of you know, build up, and that little bit of security of their own image and of their own confidence. That's where they suffer sometimes, but I really do fill them up and say, I know you can do it. So let's look for the Taurus monkey, the Cancer monkey, the Scorpio monkey, and also the Capricorn monkey. Real good and really strong. The ones to avoid have got to be all dogs, because dragons and dogs, even with the slightly gentler Piscean dragon, slightly gentler, it's still not enough there to pamper to the dog. The dog will be a little bit claustrophobic. The dragon's going to say, no, come on, I want to see a bit of independence. I want to see you not being so pessimistic sometimes. I want to see you jumping in with that risk. The dog doesn't work like that. The dog works on a justice and a very watchful way. That's what they're doing. That's the dog's way. They just do not click. So don't try it. Especially in business, don't try it, because it just will not. Click, and they probably won't really be attracted to each other anyway. Okay, that's all for this issue, and thank you for joining me, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.